So, Mr. Orange Tabby Cat, what do you think about this situation? You know, that we're sitting here waiting on Chris here. Any word on that? What about you? Like, what about you? Any other words on the situation other than yelling for food? Tried to pet you both, but you both took off from me. You just come over and just hang out thinking, I'm gonna bum that guy for food.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z!
Yeah, this is the bargain bin, folks. I don't know what the bargain bin is. I think they're $1 a piece. Yeah. Holy crap, man. It's like you just finding more and more stuff here. It's just wild. I gotta say, I'm happy I come down here with Eddie and Chris, man. This is really a pretty good trip so far. So I'm gonna look through these and see what I can find. Mad Max and all that. And I'm gonna go up here and just see what I can find. It's just crazy. It's just crazy what you're finding in here. The Swamp Thing. Yep, I've got that one. If that was gonna be in the bargain bin for $1, I'd be like, yeah, I'd go ahead and pick that up again. That'd be worth getting. But look at this, man. Look at this. It just goes on and on. It's nothing but movies. Here they are down here too. Down here, it's like it never ends. It's just insane. Eddie, jobs are overrated, son. Look at these. Look at what God has given us. He has spread out these movies far and wide, and He has said,
"Well, he could have kept this one."
Even God said something gets rotten in
Elmo's World.
Even He can make mistakes, doesn't He? I mean, even He see. Look, even He threw Alvin and the Chipmunks in there, and he's like, this is just.
Go. Our movie. We finally got
18, yeah. It's only a shame they only made one of those movies, man.
Yeah,
it's over there. But if you want a big buck for it. Yeah, sure did. Yeah.
Chris is notching that list down, buddy. He's working it down, son.
Thunderball. Of course, I have every Bond movie. Yeah.
I got all the Purge movies, The Line of Fire.
It's really not worth it trying to find all the Bonds individually just to get that big box set. The three that are missing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to get down into the nitty gritty. I'm hoping these tags peel off easy. I'm going to ask them because if I find something in here, it's where you can find your good shit in the bargain books. This McKay's, man, I've never seen anything like it, man. This McKay's just is loaded. I should have invited Nicky. I didn't think he'd want to come, you know, because he's so busy and stuff. But dear Lord, man, dear Lord, look at this stuff, man. I ain't even went through half the store yet. I ain't even went over to the graphic novels yet. There's bargain books and bargain comics, and I was like, oh shit. Here we go again. Let's see what we can find, ain't it? Let's see what we can find. These books, I'm gonna see if one of these. I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna say, this is the one thing I wish they would just put down. Let the box empty and just put a sticker right here, 35 cents a piece. Because this is really what's aggravating. Stop putting sticker prices on your books like this. Eddie, let me tell you about that Punisher. What was it? How did it go, Eddie? About the Punisher? You can tell me. About 100 feet or something like that, bro.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about the Punisher. If he ever shows up within 1,000 yards of me, find out what the word punished really means.
Don't think it worked out that way.
Not at all.
It was a good. Dolph Lundgren was a good Punisher, man. But that whole him sitting in the sewers, you know, like
And that guy that said that, he was literally dead in like 3 minutes later.
yeah. Remember he took out all the guys in his place, and he's like in the.
He wiped out the whole family in like 5 minutes or less.
I remember he sat around, he sat in the sewers and go, "Why must I guilty? My God!" It was like it was just a whole deal with him, like going through and just. He was a good Punisher. He just, you know, I don't know what the deal was with the drunk guy. You know, remember the drunk bum guy?
Yeah.
They should just have
They called him Shake in the movie. That was his name. I guess he was kind of like a cheap stand-in for microchip.
Happy hunting. Feel good. Yeah, let's see what you got here. Let's show some of this stuff off here, buddy. FX.
It's 1 and 2, and Dangerously, Radio Days, Scotland, PA, Foul Play,
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop Trilogy,
I've got the 3 of those on Blu-ray.
Ford Fairlane.
I just picked that up the other day at Cheap Thrills.
I've been meaning to watch it for a while. Other People's Money,
Yeah.
Amityville 2, classic Captain America collection,
Yeah.
Shadow, Bad Boys for Life, Crazy Six,
Yeah.
Remo Williams, Gods Must Be Crazy. It's the Abbott Costello collection there.
Yeah.
Low Down Dirty Shame, Manhunter, 30 Days of Night, Wolf Warrior 1 and 2, He Loves Me Not, Resident Evil Afterlife, Frogs.
I got that.
Graffiti Bridge, Bone.
I'm gonna tell you something about Frogs when you're watching it.
Oh, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
It's like, yeah, I got one of these.
20 LA,
I got 1941.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 13 hours.
But when you're watching, I always like the fact that Sam Elliott's in the movie, but he really doesn't want to be in this movie. You could tell, like the way he's acting. He's like, he said, why did I sign up for this shit? Wait a minute, I'm just starting out. I'm a working actor. I gotta do this crap. And like the whole movie, he's just like he's in a different like feeling way.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't just. You can tell he just does not want to be in this movie the whole way. But you gotta start somewhere, and you gotta stop.
Definitely.
I looked under Ronnie Dangerfield. I looked under these. You know.
If I remembered where I saw it, I would have.
Yeah.
Ran and got it for you.
Maybe it's better. Maybe I've hit my wall.
Probably somebody didn't got it.
Probably did. Check these out. Hey, you got the Cosby Show. Got Bill Cosby right here. Got the Cosby Show. You know. Gotta have something inappropriate in this video. And it's gotta be Bill Cosby. The Cos. Flashback.
Better than I thought it would be.
I have to check it out.
It's close to the movie. I mean, the book. It's close to the book.
When I saw the quote of Stephen King saying, "This is the movie Stephen King fans have been waiting for," I was like, "Are you sure about that?"
That's not the one I've been waiting for, but but it is a good movie.
Man, Eddie's getting a hell of a stack of movies right there.
She gets kidnapped.
Return to
by a serial
Mayberry.
killer. Yeah, man, it's a good movie.
That's a pretty good stack of movies right there. Let me see the Return to Mayberry right there. You got
I have these in individual issues.
check that out.
I don't have it.
That is a really good movie.
It is a really good
Rainmaker. It's a good Matt Damon and Danny DeVito movie. It's really good.
I'm gonna write him a check.
Got Danny
under
Glover
Eddie's
in it,
name.
too.
I think they will bounce with it.
And John Voight. Le Chef. Le Chef. Le Chef. Le Chef.
I was watching that. It's Always Sunny, and the guy was acting like the guy from The Bear.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, "Say yes, chef. Say yes." He's screaming at the
Well,
Are we ready to roll?
are we ready to go, Eddie? Or
Ready to go, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of getting hungry.
And I'm good. I'm good.
Glad you
Eels.
found those. I was wishing they had
I'm
part
well.
3 and part,
I can't do no more.
season 3 and 4, but they didn't.
Well, joke's on you, motherfucker. I'm already broke, dumbass.
Eddie, go ahead and get that pop, buddy. Pick up that pop.
Okay.
Let it ride, as they say.
I wouldn't mind that.
We're here to watch you let it ride, son. Make it rain. Hey, there's Thor, buddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. $15.
Good old Thor. Old Thor. You know, they got so many pops, he just threw them in here and they just threw them in this case right here. Just all these pops.
Modoc. Boomerang.
Walking into Sailfish Comics. Okay, that's a unique name.
Selfish comments. They don't want to see shit in there.
Okay, we're gonna mark this shit up at the counter.
The guy that owns it, his name is Selfish Bastard.
This shit's getting marked up at the counter. You're not getting nothing.
That's his brother. The guy that been got hold of the selfish asshole.
Yeah.
Selfish
Hey,
Comics.
we go in there and get our legs waxed. Man, they got
You should buy this and start telling people that you have a real Action Comics #1.
well, it is real, and it is the next cartoon.
Yeah. True.
These are what's called facsimile editions.
Young romance.
You mean this ain't the real thing, Eddie, and I can't sell it on
No, afraid not.
I'm afraid not.
He might be a rich man. Look at that. That New Mutants and that.
Well, I do have both of those issues. I wish I had this one. This is the one I wish I had that one. Yeah, and these two on the end, Huey.
These two on the end.
That down there on the end.
Yeah.
Is that the first Swamp Thing?
Yeah.
Let's see the Tomb of Dracula. Oh, this is a nice one. I used to have this issue, by the way. I like it. Eddie, didn't I trade this to you?
Actually, I used to have that.
Yeah. CGC stuff, buddy. That's the CGC. See the wall.
What was you showing him?
Didn't I trade this to you at one time? The Tomb of
I
Dracula.
know I have issue #1. In fact, I had the whole series at one time.
Yeah.
I kept issue #1 and sold in #2, 3, 4, and
No,
5.
just looking.
Jason. And nothing else. It's like a memento of our trip.
What is it?
Old man Logan bus for $40.
I tell you what I will do. You get that one, and I'll go back and get that bust of the Punisher thing. 45. Well, hell, that's cheaper than the Punisher one. That's a bigger figure and cheaper than the Punisher one. Punisher's smaller and more expensive. They want $60 for the Punisher one.
The Punisher. Let me tell you something about that Punisher.
Snakes? You say snakes?
You know, I ain't bought new comics off the rack in a couple years. It's been.
It's expensive, man. It is totally expensive.
Yep.
$5, that's like $4.99 a comic book.
Yep. That's the
Right
reason.
here, $6.99.
I know that's why I don't. That's why I quit collecting. It just got too much of a deal. I mean, here's Absolute Batman. Everybody's. This was the biggest hit thing at one time was Absolute Batman.
I am not. My feelings is not hurt getting out of the comic book thing.
Here's the Batman Hush, you know, previous issues. But yeah,
If you were trying to keep up with everything Wolverine's in, you'd be broke.
yeah.
You would literally be broke.
Hey guys, ECWFan, the collector here, and I hope you have enjoyed that 2-part vlog, the 100th vlog. Now, this vlog took me about 3+ months to do, because the A-team schedules were so mixed up. You know, we couldn't get together at times. Eddie and Chris had plans at times. Chris got hurt. He couldn't, he had a surgery done on his arm. I think you even hear me in the video asking how he's doing. CJ, I never could get up with him. Couldn't get up with my cousin Nikki, but I got everybody else I could get in the video that I could. And I knew I had to get this video out, because, I mean, it was 3 months in the making. I finally got it done. But you got to see Jason, you got to see the other Jason, B.A., you got to see Chris Hannibal, you got to see Eddie, Two-Face. That's why you say Two-Face, I don't know why I'm half asleep. But, yeah. It was all good. You got to see us me and Eddie go to a yard sale, which was pretty cool, around town. You got to see me go to Spookables. And you got to see us go to McKay's and take in a comic book store. So, it's time for the pickups, right? You want to see what I picked up from McKay's. And in total, I got 24 movies and 2 games from McKay's. And I got 10 movies from Chris. And I'm kind of happy with what I picked up, because, I mean, man alive, I was so, you know, pleased with a couple of these that, yeah. Let's go ahead and start it off, okay? And I picked up, in the dollar section, I picked up Superstar, Mary Kelly, Dare to Dream, Mary Catherine Gallagher. I'm getting the Saturday Night Live movies, and I was looking for It's Pat to go with this one, and Stuart Saves His Family, Stuart Smiley, because I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. I was trying to find those two, but I found this one. And I was trying to find those two. But I did find another Saturday Night Live special. And this one is about the great John Belushi. Yeah. I'm getting these Saturday Night Live discs, and I tried to find some more of them, but I couldn't find them in the dollar section. But in the dollar section, you'd have to look at the discs real good. I mean, you'd have to pop the discs open, just like look at them real good. Make sure there's no scratches or anything. And for the most part, what I found was primo shape. Now, this one I found in the action section. I wasn't a fan of somebody drawing a K on it, but I put it back, then got it again, then put it back, because I was going through cuts, and it's Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This movie is not remembered much, because they pretty much, Arnold's career in the late 90s was changing. He was basically easing out of being the big-time action star, and he was getting ready to go to big governor of California. And I don't think his career was ever the same after that. I don't think he ever got that back. But, you know, he was Arnold. Now, this one is a comedy, and this one he was talking about on the ride down. And I told Warren, and I told Eddie and Chris, I said, I just need one more Cheech and Chong film. And it's one that I picked up at FYE years earlier, and I put back because they wanted too much for it. They wanted way too much for it. It was Things Are Tough All Over with Cheech and Chong. Oh, yes. This one has them drive a car cross country, and he stripped the car down for parts because they spent all the money, and they don't realize under the front seats is all this cash, and it's pretty funny. Speaking of cross country, I think I have Road Trip, so I wanted to get Euro Trip unrated. This is I think the sequel to Road Trip, and I needed Euro Trip. And like I said, in the dollar section, you had to check those discs out, because some of them was in really crap shape at McKay's, but some of these were really in good shape. I picked up Wolf Creek, the horror film. Not since the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre has terror felt so real. That's what it says on the back. Yeah.
I picked up this one because I like Johnny Depp movies. And there was, like, I think maybe 2 or 3 I picked up at this McKay's. And I picked up Secret Window. This was a creepy story at the end. This was a creepy story with what was going on. Now, Eddie found me this one. He said, you need to get it. He said, it's becoming hard to find now. And it's Wolf Cop. Wolf Cop, the perfect blend of horror and comedy. Wolf Cop. And usually Eddie's and Chris are pretty good, top notch when it comes to horror films. And Eddie told me about this one, where you see us in a scene discuss Embrace of the Vampire with Alyssa Milano. Yeah, I think me, Eddie, and Chris all own a copy of that. Now, this one I picked up because I thought this was pretty cool. This was part of the AMC Monster Fest collection. This is #1. This one's got the Atomic Brain, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, Carnivals of Souls, and Night Tide with Dennis Hopper. I thought these were kind of cool. Cult classics from AMC. And I was trying to find some more of these, but I couldn't find any more. Speaking of comedy, I got There's Something About Mary. And I actually could have got this from a pawn shop. There was like a special edition, other than this special edition, but I put it back. And this was actually the second copy I found of There's Something About Mary, because the first disc I pulled out was in shit shape. It was not good, and I had to put it back. It just wasn't good. Now, Chris found me this one, and like the same goes with There's Something About Mary. The first copy of this I found, the disc wasn't in good shape. And it's John Carpenter's The Ghosts of Mars. And if nobody knows, this was originally supposed to be a Snake Plissken film. This was supposed to be a Snake Plissken film, and it was supposed to be Desolation Jones was just added from the studio, or Desolation, God, what was his name? I think it's Desolation Jones. Crap, I can't, I'm not going to read this whole back, but yeah, the character of of Ice Cube was just created for the movie. They changed the entire movie, and this feels like 2 different movies clashing together. You feel like you're getting a sci-fi action film that just crashes into a horror film. And you can tell why. I can tell why John Carpenter quit after this. He just got so tired of the studios getting involved in his movies, and I can't blame him. I can't blame him. I picked up Grease, since I have Grease too, and it surprised me I don't have Grease. You know, I can't believe that. And you know how many copies of Grease we found there? There was like 4 or 5 different copies of Grease with different covers. There's one with a classic cover, and then there's this one, and I mean, it was just like, I mean, there was a lot of covers to Grease, and we was like, man, it's a lot of different covers just for Grease, man. What the hell's going on with this? And it was like, there was a bunch in the dollar section. There's a couple in the price section. It was just weird to see all those. I'm still going on here. I picked up another horror film, and I got this one. Cheap Thrills had this one, and I actually put it back, and I kind of regret it because a lady came in and bought it while I was in there one day. But it's Kevin Bacon's Stir of Echoes. And Kevin Bacon did some creepy horror films, man. I think he did the, there was the one film he done. Crap. I can't think of it, but he played this scientist. I think The Invisible Man or something like that, where he just becomes a creepy character in it. Now, speaking of Johnny Depp, here is the second movie I got from him. It is The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. I always like this one. He plays a book collector, and he's kind of he's pretty unscrupulous at what he does. He gets people's book collections for nothing, and he's not a good guy, and he's you know, it's a very creepy story in a way. Speaking of comedies, classic ones, this is from the 1970s. It is Oh God with George Burns. And George Burns had become a star in his older age. If anyone remembers, he had a run of films in the late 70s and early 80s. And it's kind of amazing because he's like in his 70s and 80s at the time, and he was just doing these films, and he become popular again. And he had been around since the golden age of TV, so he got to do these movies again. Moving on, I picked up a new copy of The Equalizer and Equalizer 2. I haven't seen 2, and Eddie and them have seen 2 and 3. I ain't seen 2, so this is kind of a nice little 2-pack deal. I can see the first Equalizer and the second one, so it's kind of cool. I get to see that. I picked up, now this, I may have filmed this back in the summer. I had walked into Cheap Thrills, and I had picked up out of the dollar section Apocalypse Now Redux, and they had a DVD copy of it. They were supposed to. Well, Sean gets in there and starts looking for it, and he can't find it. He can't find Apocalypse Now. He said, I don't know what happened to it. He looked under, 2 different headings. Even looked under, the actors. He couldn't find it. He searched all over. He said, I guess it's a missing disc. But Redux adds, it's an uncut Apocalypse Now. It adds more to this big story. And this one, I think I told that the lady thought when I said I did Marlon Brando's The Horror. She thought I said something else, and she says, "What did you say?" It was Jonathan. Jonathan looked for it. I'm sorry about that, Jonathan. So Jonathan looks at me like, "What?" She thinks we said something about her. We're talking about Marlon Brando, and I had to explain to her. I said, "We're talking about Apocalypse Now and Marlon Brando," and she said, "Oh." She thought I said something else. Man, that was funny as hell. Eddie would have busted out laughing. Eddie and Chris would have. If they're watching this, they probably are. But I got this Jean-Claude Van Damme 4-pack, and I actually have Time Cop, I believe, and Hard Target. So I needed Street Fighter and The Quest. And Jean-Claude Van Damme, big time action star in the 90s. He just, his career just went down because of drug issues, and it's kind of sad. I mean, he's never been the same, but he's come back somewhat. Now, here's one I got from the a 5-movie collection, and I couldn't believe this one, man. This one had Anaconda, She Creature, The Day the World Ended, The Cave, and Dragon Wars. All 5 films for $1. And they're not big-time films. I mean, Anaconda could possibly be a big one. I think I can get rid of my copy of Anaconda since I got the 5-disc set. I think it's kind of cool. Speaking of Blu-rays now and good films, I actually got the first Deadpool. And I was shocked I never did own this. And I was like, okay, I've got to change that. I've got to get this one. I got Deadpool 2, so I had to get Deadpool 1. Now, these next 3 are kind of my favorites that I picked up. These next 3, I can't put them in no certain order, but here we go. The first one I picked up, and this one's awful, but I had the sequel to this. I had the sequel to the first of this film. It is Yuli Boley's House of the Dead. Yes, a film so terrible that you just have to sit there and go, oh man. House of the Dead. But yeah, I've got the sequel, House of the Dead 2, so I was like, I gotta get the first one. Now, this one, you saw how excited I was when I pulled it off the shelf. And when I saw it there, and I told Warren, I said, I've been looking for this one for a long time. It's Nicolas Cage in Vampire Kiss. And he's just so insanely crazy, and he does that scorched earth acting.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Style, or he's half, it's very funny. It makes me laugh so hard. And finally, the last one I picked up, and this one shocked me because this one is getting up there in price. And I showed it to Chris. It's hard to find this one. It's hard to, and Sean told me in Cheap Thrills, he said, I've only seen it one time come into the store. And it's the Wrong Turn collection, 1 through 6. all 6 Wrong Turns. And he told me one of these films had actually been released and they actually took it back. It says 6 films, no mercy. So I was very happy to get this one. But now we're going to see the 2 games I got. And the 2 games I picked up, and these was really what really got the price up a little bit on these. Because the games would have been, I mean, the movies would have been, I would have been cheap. I would have got off way cheap. I would have probably had, I was averaging pretty good. If I just stayed with those films and not got the games, I probably would have done really, really good. But I want these 2 games because I've not seen them, and one I've actually played is Bloodstained, and I was like, okay, this is a nice, it's a sequel type game to it, and it's from Limited Run, and I really don't have no Limited Run games in my collection, so I picked up Bloodstained Castle of the Moon 2 on PS4. I went ahead and got it. Bow to Your Way into the Demonic Stronghold. So I went ahead and got this. I didn't know it was from Limited Run until I picked it. I got it. That's the only Limited Run game I think I got in my collection. The next one I got was Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. This is like a spin-off of the one Barbara games where you kill zombies, lose the clothes, save your life. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I had to get this one, and that's what I picked up from McKay's. That's the McKay's haul. That's all of it right there, baby. Okay, I got 11 movies from Chris before we even got to McKay's. I think Warren got a couple. I don't know if Eddie picked out any. I think he already did. I think Chris said Eddie picked out some from the box. So I went through, and Chris said, go ahead and get what you want, man. So one of the first movies I saw was this. And I like dinosaur movies, and, I like these weird, these B films about dinosaurs. So I picked up the Jurassic collection. It's got 7 films on there. It looked pretty unique. I went ahead and got it. I know they're not high quality films. I know they're B movies. Now, speaking of monster films, the next 2 or 3 will be classic ones. And one of them is King Kong vs. Godzilla. This is the colored version. Yeah. Classic King Kong vs. Godzilla. Yeah. I had to get that one. I had to get, some classic monster films. But, let me keep going here. Okay, here we go. Here's some other monster ones. I got The Son of Kong. Adventure Runs in the Family. The Son of Kong. I got King Kong Escapes. So, some good classic King Kong films. I think I'm doing pretty good on King Kong. I have to thank Chris because he had these in a box and he's taking them to McKay's to trade in. And he said, yeah, just pull it out. Pull out what y'all want. One of the ones I pulled out on Blu-ray, and I'll say this. They should have put this movie under the new James Gunn direction. They could have probably did like a teaser after Superman. Superman, to me, was okay, but they messed up on trying to cook fit people to a new movie. They could have actually filmed this actor, doing a lead into this movie and actually had it do better. It's actually Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, I've heard good and bad things. Eddie didn't like it, but I've heard people, some people say it was pretty decent. But it just failed because Warner Brothers was going through that deal where none of their movies mattered at the end. None of the Snyder era films mattered because that universe was ending. And Blue Beetle like I said, they should have released it after Superman. They should have released it in August or September. Hooked viewers with like a thing at the end. And that's when you release it. You don't release this film right when you're trying to, if you're trying to build excitement for new characters in the universe, you release the film with that. But people's crazy. They don't listen to us. What can I say? Now, speaking of comedies, and I have to look. If I had this, I'll give this to Warren. I got Still in Harvard from him with Tom Green and Jason Lee. And the film basically, it's got the late Dennis Ferreira too. Jason Lee's character wants to buy his niece, I believe it is, away into Harvard, and he doesn't have the money to send her to Harvard, so he starts committing crimes. Him and Tom Green, his wacky friend, decide to commit crimes to try to get money to get her into Harvard. It's pretty funny with that. I ain't seen it in years, but I saw it there. I was like, I've got a couple Tom Green films, and I got to get that one. I got the sequel to Darkman. I got Darkman 2, The Return of Durant. I've got the first Darkman. I thought about getting the collection. Now all I need to do is find Darkman 3, and I'll be all right. But yeah, Darkman 2, that's a nice one. I was kind of hoping Chris had Darkman 3 in there. I could have looked better, possibly, but I stopped. I was like, no, this is enough for me. Yeah, because like I got so many from Chris, and I got Prey, the Predator movie, and Prey is really good. If you haven't seen Prey, this is probably one of the best sequels to Predator. I would rank this one right below the first Predator. It's really that good. You could actually turn on the Comanche. How do you speak in Comanche? Comanche. I don't know why I said Comanche. Comanche language, but this is really good for what it is. And people might say, "Oh, that's just a girl fighting a predator," but I mean, man, the Predator was loose in New York at one time fighting cops. I mean. So it don't really matter. You're having the Predator having the characters go into new situations, and that one really worked early. So that was kind of nice. Now, Eddie recommended this one. He said, you have to get this one. You have to get this horror film. It's The Other. There have been all the others. Now there is The Other. He said, you have to get this one. This one's from 1972. I was like, okay, I'll get it. You're the man, Eddie. You're the man on this stuff. Now, this one, I don't think this is an actual, I think this was I don't know if this is a real copy or, I don't know. But I think the other wasn't, but here is Nightbreed. And I actually could have bought this on Blu-ray at Cheap Thrills, but I passed on it, and I never did see it again. So, it's kind of nice to get this on DVD. That's kind of nice. And finally, he's like, oh, yes. From Dario Argento, Demons 2. And I tell you what, man, this looks creepy as hell. I'm kind of glad I got this one. This is a UK version. So I'm kind of glad I got that. But yeah, that's the complete haul. Everything. So altogether, I got like 34, 35 movies. 2 games. So I'm kind of happy with what I picked up over that weekend, man. It was just so good, It was good to see the A-team get together and do things like we used to do. I'm hoping for more trips in the future. But our work schedules, basically, I'm trying to get my work schedule to relax enough so I could go on the weekends. But this was a nice haul, and I'm happy for it. But I want to thank you for watching and liking the channel. Subscribe if you want. Drop me a comment about this movie haul and this second part of this vlog. And until next time, oh yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W.